So gist.el is like a front end for gist that I wrote. I mean, there was an initial implementation by Chris, who then got busy doing something more interesting, like bringing GitHub to life. He's right now the CEO of GitHub, so he's not very much active in this regard. So I rewrote the whole thing. So basically, what gist.el is like a catalog for your gists, right? So when you hit gist list, what you get is like a list of all your gists. So those are pretty old ones here. So I'm a heavy user of gist, but I tend to create them, destroy them whenever I don't need them anymore. Yeah.
Is this the same package that I used to do the EmacsGist region?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah. See how different it looks? I rewrote the whole thing, so that might be why you're surprised by its current look. So basically, it's like a virtual file system browser at the top level. So here, for example, I mean, you can see a few of these arrows over here. So this is really messed up. Oh, this is better. Okay, so let me kill that thing and restore. So let's pick a more recent one, like this one. So some of those gists here have a small triangle on the side, and what it indicates is that those are multiple files gists, right? So obviously the most basic use case that you have for a gist is to create the equivalent of a paste bin, right? So you just paste a simple file over there. But one of the advanced features is that you can group files together if they make sense together. And server side, this is like a full-fledged Git repo that you can interact with. So if we look at one of those, for example, like here, I have two files in there. So that have the actual file names here and the virtual directory which corresponds to the gist that is hosting those. So if I select one of those, well, I will have exactly a file here with syntax highlighting and stuff like this. And one of the fancy things that I can do is edit the file in place. So if I just remove something in there and hit Ctrl+X, Ctrl+S, oh, you don't see it here, it's crap. But basically, I'm connecting to api.github.com, and I'm updating the gist in place. So if I now go to gist.github.com and I see all my gists, and I have like the latest one over there, well, you can see that the line that I just removed was also updated server side. So I can do stuff like this. I can rename files. So if I want to, so again, this is cut, unfortunately. Okay. So I can rename it to static.2.service, and then if I go over there, the file name here has changed. So basically, what this allows is to pretend that your set of gists are just a bunch of local files and interact with them quite transparently, which is kind of nice. I mean, the obvious alternative would be to clone the entire gist locally and to operate it like the normal way, since it is an entire Git repo, but still having like the virtual file system layer on top of that is kind of nice. Right. Does anybody have any questions regarding gist.el?
Did you say you rewrote this and therefore what you're describing is relatively new?
Well, it's not exactly new because I rewrote this like 2 years ago or something. So the initial version was just hammering the GitHub API directly. In the meantime, I wrote this thing called gist.el, which is like a general.
Oh, you wrote gist.el?
Yeah, I did.
Holy crap!
Sorry about that.
That's cool.
So yeah. Okay, so that's like a general client library for GitHub APIs, and one of my goals was to leverage that new API to re-implement gist.el in the same way. And one of my other goals implementing gist.el was to be able to write Magit extensions that are more focused on GitHub, like for example the GitHub pull requests interface and stuff like this. So since I was at the time the Magit maintainer, that was kind of making sense. So yeah, that's. But so this is not exactly new. I mean, I've been like living under a rock for the past 2 years almost. So pretty much whatever you see is ancient.
I have a question about Magit GH polls.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this isn't part of its functionality right now, but did you ever like look into or consider adding like somehow the ability to actually comment on pull requests and stuff like that from maybe
Yes. Now, obviously, it never happened. So the initial plan was to introduce something a bit different and a bit more general than that, which was like a review interface for Emacs with several backends, like being able to review code on GitHub or over email or interacting with Garrett and stuff like this. None of this has been written at all. I know that some people contributed a comment API interface to gh.el, so some bits might be there for you to use. I don't think anybody has any plans to make real use of those right now.
Right.
Anything else?
So I didn't catch at the beginning. Did you say that Tom Preston Werner wrote the first version of GitHub?
No, it was Chris Van Straten.
Is he one of the co-founders of GitHub?
Yes.
Oh, holy crap! That's cool. I thought
He used to be a big Emacs user.
Oh.
Yeah. Now
that's surprising.
He's creating Atom, right? So obviously he's eating his own dog.
Oh.
Everything.
Yeah.
Is the story like then one of the co-founders wrote textmate.el?
It's possible. I've never heard of that one, but that wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Because they were so influenced.
Right. All right. So if there's nothing else, do you want a very quick demo of a working